So, ladies and gentlemen, in this problem, so that wasn't funny. So in this example, what we have is negative 2m plus n equals 6, as well as negative 7m plus 6n equals 1. Now, yes. OK. So, because this is what you missed last class period, OK, Lauren? Now, when we're doing a problem, we can easily solve a system by graphing. If you guys wanted to replace the m and the n with x and y's and solve for y and then graph them, you can do that. But basically, when we're solving a system equation, we want to be able to evaluate or determine the value for n and for m. So to do that, one of the first things we're going to do is see if we can isolate one of our variables. So to do that, the easiest way to do that is to look for the variable that has a coefficient of 1. And in this case, you can see that my n has a coefficient of 1. Does everybody see that? So when I have a variable that has a coefficient of 1, I would like to use the substitution method. And basically what the substitution method tells us to do is to solve for that variable that has the coefficient of 1 or negative 1. So let's go and do that over here. Negative 2m plus n equals 6. To solve for n, all I simply need to do is add 2m. Does everybody see that? OK? Now, you could solve for any variable, right? You guys learned how to do that. You can solve for any variable. But what's nice about solving for the variable that has a coefficient of n, all I had to do was add 2m. And it was pretty easy, right? But sometimes when you're solving for a variable, like for instance, this one, I would have to subtract 6n and then divide by negative 7, which is going to give me fractions. So it wouldn't be very fun to solve for m. Hey, guys, over there, I think you know your directions, right? OK. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say n equals 2m plus 6. So I'm going to take the value of n and plug it in for that n in the other equation. N equals this. So I'm going to take the value of n and put it into the other equation. The reason why I do that is now I have an equation. Now I have produced an equation that only has the variable m. And we can solve equations for that to get the value of m. OK? So now I apply distributive property. So I have negative m plus 12m plus 36 equals 1. I have my variables on the same side, so I just combine them. Negative 7m plus 12m is going to be 5m plus 36 equals 1. Subtract 36. 5m equals negative 35. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. M equals negative 7. Is everybody OK with that?
Why can't I just find out a code? I bet it gets really hard.
So now, once we know what m is, we take the value of m and we plug it back into our equation for n. So n equals 2 times negative 7 plus 6. N equals negative 14 plus 6. N equals negative 8. So now the value of my two variables is going to be negative 8, negative 7. OK? That's it. That's all you guys got to do.